You're listening to the Stallion Radio Network.
Happy holidays, everybody here from Movie Talk Radio. I am one of your hosts, Brian Sills. You can follow me on Twitter at Movie Talk Brian, here with my co-hosts.
And I'm Vic Vasquez. You can follow me on Twitter as well, at TheTorvic23.
And I am Brett. You can follow me on Twitter at The Podcast King. How's everybody doing, guys? A couple days before Christmas.
Ready for Christmas.
Yeah.
Santa's coming.
I know him.
Yes.
Got a lot of Batman news. Surprisingly, this is the first show, in I think existence, where we have not had Star Wars related news since it was announced that there's going to be Episode 7.
Well, other than like the Batman stuff, there's really, I mean, we had a hard time finding material this week.
It was a short week.
Yeah, it's not really a whole lot of
on Facebook.
It was like a Monday Night Football team playing on Thursday night in the same week. So
Short
that's kind of
week.
what it was for us this week. But hey, we're still here.
Yeah, we're here, and we got a good show actually.
Yes.
We found as much as we could.
As always, we had to like do something for our Christmas special this year.
Yeah, but we got some Fast 7 news, some Ant-Man news, Harry Potter news, X-Men news. We got a lot of stuff. A variety
Including
of
our
things.
top favorite Christmas movies.
Yes, we do. Well, let's dive into it. December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. Only one thing remarkable, I guess you could say, happened on this day in cinema history, and it was in 1932. Rasputin and the Empress, which was a film debuted in New York on this day. The film marks the only on-screen appearance together of Ethel, Lionel, and John Barrymore. They're all siblings, and they were all in the same movie, which is pretty rare. I don't think you see that a whole lot. I mean, you see, like, Ben Affleck and Casey Affleck were in Good Will Hunting, but 3 siblings in one movie, that's pretty rare. So that's what happened on this day.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, usually we would have DVD releases to talk about, which come out every Tuesday, but since it's Christmas Eve...
And Monday.
Yeah, and Monday. But, yeah, we have no DVD releases, sadly. Because, I mean, honestly, who's going to buy any new releases on, like, DVD-wise, like, on Christmas Eve?
True.
You're not going to do it. Because, I mean, we have the new releases that come out on Christmas Day, too, so that also plays a factor.
Yes. So no DVD release.
Sadly no DVD releases, so sorry, folks. So, anybody see anything this past week? I know you saw 2, I only saw 1. Vic, what did you see this week?
I saw a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's what I saw. So unfortunately, I didn't have time to really, go to the movies or do anything. But
That's a thumbs down.
I know, man.
Well, I saw 2 movies.
Well, you could talk about the first one,
Yeah, of course.
since I wasn't there to see it.
I saw Out of the Furnace,
Whoa,
which Vic had seen a couple weeks back.
whoa.
Directed by Scott Cooper, written by Scott Cooper and Brad Inglesby, stars Christian Bale, Casey Affleck, Woody Harrelson, Forrest Whitaker, Zoe Saldana, and Willem Dafoe. I mean, that's just that's an all-star cast right there. It's about when Rodney Bays mysteriously disappears and law enforcement doesn't follow through fast enough. His older brother Russell takes matters into his hands to find justice, and
Does he find it?
yeah, he finds it. It was just extremely well acted by everybody in the film, really well directed, and I mean, I'm really surprised that this film was not nominated for Golden Globes. I'm certainly sure that it's going to be nominated for Academy Awards, and I think it's got a pretty damn good chance of being the Best Picture winner. I mean, they're going to have a lot of tough competition, with Gravity, 12 Years a Slave, but this film, I think, has got to at least be nominated for Best Picture, because it was really well done.
So I wasn't far off when I said that this was, for me anyway, is like my movie of the year.
I would probably agree with you. I mean, I've only seen a couple films that are going to be nominated for Best Picture, like Gravity and Captain Phillips, but I actually like this film the best out of all those 3, so yeah, it was definitely worth the watch. And I didn't even see it in theaters, so...
Definitely have to check it out.
Yes, sir.
Well, me and Brett saw The Hobbit.
Desolation of Smaug.
Schmag.
In 3D, by the way.
Yeah, 3D.
Oh,
Not
man.
bad, not too shabby. It's
Yeah.
very rare where I'll enjoy a movie that's in 3D, and that's definitely one of them I would
Yep.
check out in 3D
Directed-
or IMAX.
Directed by Peter Jackson, of course. Written by Peter Jackson, Fran Walsh,
Even-
Philippa Boyens.
Even had a little cameo in the movie. I liked that.
Yeah, of course. He's the same cameo that he had in Lord of the Rings, where
Where he was like that drunk guy or whatever.
yeah, biting on the carrot. Same exact role, but yeah. Peter Jackson, Fran Walsh, Philippa Boyens, they all write films together. But I was surprised to see Guillermo del Toro's name. He helped write it, and I mean,
Yeah.
I forgot about that he was going to direct the first one, but his name was not mentioned in the first film, so I was kind of surprised that it was in this part. So that was kind of surprising to see at the end of the movie. Of course, it stars Martin Freeman and Ian McKellen about the dwarves, along with Bilbo Baggins and Gandalf the Grey, continue their quest to reclaim Erebor, the homeland from Smaug. Bilbo Baggins is in possession of a mysterious and magical ring, and people ask me, and I'm sure people have asked you, Brian, which one do you like better?
Yeah, I've had a few. Probably not as much as you, but
I think they're.
I like them
equal.
both. Yeah, equally because they're just as good. You can't really like one and not like the other one because I mean, they're all good. I mean, that's the same thing. Like if you say which Lord of the Rings, it's like they're all good. I enjoy all of them.
Well, for the Lord of the Rings, actually, I like Return of the King.
Well,
best.
yeah, I mean that's the final chapter.
And I think it'll be
but
the same with The Hobbit as
probably
well.
more likely. I wouldn't doubt it, but
Because it's, it ties up all the loose ends, and you finally get, the climax that you've been waiting for all these movies. So, I mean, that's the only bad part about, splitting one book up into 3 movies. You have to wait until you actually get the final climax of the film. So, but it's exciting, and it keeps you going. But we have to wait another year, an entire year, until we can see the final film of The Hobbit. Which kind of sucks, because when this one came out, I had to go back and watch the first one because I kind of forgot a lot of things that happened. So, but I mean, it kind of does. That's where you have to buy the DVD. So, smart, but very good film.
yeah, I really enjoyed it. And actually, like after watching it made me kind of want to play Skyrim a little bit because it had to do with dragons and whatnot.
It kind of made me want to play it too, and I don't really play that game that much. So, yeah, it got me in the mood for that sort of mystical thing.
Yes. Awesome game to play, by the way. I'm probably going to replay that here. But that is the movies we saw. The box office results are in, and we had 1 and 2
We
backwards.
tried.
Yeah.
We tried.
I almost went with it, but I should have went with my gut instinct. That's what happens when you don't do it. Well, at number 10 was Thor: The Dark World, which made 1.3. At number 9, a foreign film, believe it or not. I actually looked it up, too. It's not spelled wrong, either. It's Dahum 3, which made 3.3. And it's a weird, yeah.
The who?
Dahum.
It's probably pronounced Doom, but
Well, yeah,
for the sake of it, we're going to say Dahum.
Dahum.
The who?
Walking with Dinosaurs was at number 8, which made 7.3. At number 7 was Tyler Perry's Medea Christmas, which made 8.5. Number 6 was The Hunger Games Catching Fire, which made 8.7. At number 5 was Saving Mr. Banks, which made 9.3.
Which was my number 1 pick.
Yes.
So,
Sorry, Vic.
yeah.
At number 4 was American Hustler, which made
Hustler.
Yeah.
Hustler?
Every time I say American Hustle, I think of that one song. I'm a hustler, baby.
I know you even posted it on our Facebook when you posted last week's episode.
Yes, I know. Yes, that was at number 4, though, which made
American Hustle.
$19.1 million. At number 3 was Frozen, which made 19 and 163. At number 2 was Anchorman 2, which made 26.7. And at number 1, again, was The Hobbit, which made 31.4.
Yeah, I'm surprised about Anchorman because the first movie made like 85 point mil. This one made 26. I mean, our other brother Brandon said that he had heard about some people who actually walked out on this movie, which is not a good thing. I mean, and then I've heard people who say, "Oh, it's it lives up to the first one." It's everyone says it's great, but I'd like to think that some of those people don't know a good movie when they see it because I mean, when I hear somebody walks out of a movie, it makes me think a little bit differently about it.
Well, yeah, every time anybody walks out, like, I remember when we were watching The Hobbit Desolation of Smaug, I remember seeing people walk out of that.
When we went,
Yeah.
What?
people walked out. I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, well, I didn't really make a big, like judgment call out of it, because obviously they
I
probably...
just started booing it at them loudly.
yeah.
Where are
It
you
looked like they
going?
left to me, but
When?
they were young. It was like
what
near the beginning of the movie.
Near the beginning of the movie.
Maybe they just went for the opening credits?
I mean, it was in 3D too, so you pay for a movie ticket, and then you pay for 3D
$35.
glasses,
Yeah.
and then you walk out. Maybe they were just going to get like popcorn or something. How do you?
I didn't see him return.
Maybe they went to the wrong showing. Maybe
Possibly,
Like,
it's possible. I don't know, but...
I would be surprised. I've never heard of anybody walk out of a Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings related.
Well, there's some people that just, I don't know, certain movies, especially that one. I know some people like don't care for it.
Or they looked at the runtime and were like, okay, we got dinner later. We cannot be here for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, but
I've heard some people on my or not heard them on my Facebook because it's impossible to hear on Facebook.
Right.
But,
Yeah,
some
I say
people
the
were
same
just
thing.
saying that it was too long or something. The Anchorman was just too long and too
Anchorman?
much of a story or something.
It was
What
about
they
a-
were complaining about.
It was like an hour and 50 minutes. I didn't
no,
see it.
I watched Anchorman and like it had its moments. I mean, I remember when the first one came out, I didn't laugh the whole entire time, but there were certain parts where I thought it was funny, and it's kind of like the same thing. But yeah, it's more story based this time than the first one.
Well, I think it's safe to say that this was kind of a bomb.
Yeah, I would say so.
Made $60
I mean,
million
it's-
less than its its first movie. So
I mean, it's definitely. I mean, it's not a bad movie, but they kind of overhyped it a little bit, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's definitely. I mean, if you watch the first one, you should still check out the second one. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I think they just overhyped it too much and like.
Well, Ron Burgundy has been everywhere on TV recently.
yeah,
From
he
the
has.
Dodge Durango commercials to Sports Center. What else hasn't he done? He's popping up everywhere. So
Yeah.
maybe people are just tired of maybe seeing him. I don't know. But
Well, I think it's safe to say that we probably won't see an Anchorman 3,
More likely not.
which is probably for the best. I actually watched like the first 2 minutes of it online, and the first 2 minutes, there was a cameo right away. It was Drake. I didn't
Yeah.
know Drake was in the movie. I was like, oh my god, it's Drake. It's
Oh.
crazy. He had an afro and everything. It's kind of funny, but... Yeah,
Yeah, like I
stopped
said,
watching.
there's certain scenes where it's like hilarious. It's exactly like the first one. Like there's certain scenes where like it's funny, but then there's others where you're just like, okay, whatever.
There's already an article out about, what lines you're going to be quoting from that movie. There's already an article about that, so...
No, I'm sure. I honestly don't remember some of the, like a lot of the lines, but I'm sure I'm gonna hear them.
Yeah.
But yes, that is the box office results. And are you guys ready to name that movie?
Yes. Well,
I'm throwing you a curveball this week.
it's not a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas type plot to it, but it's not an actual Christmas movie.
It's got Christmas in the plot.
Yes.
but it's not about Christmas.
No, it's not a Christmas movie, like I said.
Reindeer games.
Wow.
What? Did I just guess it?
Wow, you're already throwing a guess. I haven't even named the damn plot yet.
It's a good guess.
Yeah.
Well, after assuming his dead cellmate's identity to get with his girlfriend, an ex-con finds himself the reluctant participant in a casino heist on Christmas Eve.
So did we just ruin it?
I think we just. I'm sorry.
No, he got it right.
All right. Good job, Vic.
Oh,
He
I'm
got it
sorry.
right. No, don't be sorry. That's actually pretty good.
You didn't even name a plot.
I didn't even name the plot, and you already, like,
That's how you know I'm knowledgeable. / don't have a life because I just watch everything. So.
either that or he's, like, programmed in my head.
It's
It
crazy.
reads my mind.
I
That
did
is
hack
crazy.
you. I did hack you just now. I don't know if you saw.
Hey man, pick up the brainwaves.
So now it's 2-1 Brett. He's
I
coming.
didn't even get a chance to even guess.
He's coming back.
That's system's rigged a little bit.
No, not really.
I would say so. I mean,
how's that rigged?
I didn't get a guess. So I mean,
He's shouted out.
yeah, but that doesn't mean he's right. You don't have to say he's right or wrong until I make a guess. I didn't make a guess, so that was default for me. So
Oh.
I didn't get a guess. How is that fair if I lose if I don't
We
get a
had the
guess?
same amount of time, good sir.
It should be it shouldn't be like that. He should have a guess. You don't answer it. I get a guess, and then once we both make a guess, you tell us what it is.
At the end of the show.
Well, I mean,
Well, now we can't. Yeah.
yeah. So I
You
don't
have
think
like a backup one.
you can't chalk that
No.
up as a loss for me. That's not fair. So I mean, he gets the win, but I get nothing. It stays the same. Is it 2-1? Is that what?
It's 2-1 now.
I've gotten 2 right.
Yeah, you can't remember how many you got right?
You've only got 1 right.
I was the one that
This-
said Christmas with the Cranks.
Yeah, he got 1 right, and then you didn't get Deck the Halls.
Yeah.
So you have gotten 1 right.
Or Dutch or
Yeah.
that one, whatever it was.
All right.
Okay. Well, anyways, we're gonna get right into the news,
The news. The
and
news.
we're gonna talk about sequels because it's always a popular topic, and it's always on our show. We talked about Night at the Museum before in the past about how whether or not Robin Williams was gonna return or not. Well, now they got another cast member that apparently are bringing back, and it's good old Ricky Gervais coming back to play his old role as the boss of the museum.
Have you guys seen his new show? That I don't know if it's on HBO. I don't know where it's at. It's called I think Derek. He's playing like this like I can't even really. I don't know who he's playing, but it's like at a nursing home. It looks really weird.
I have not seen the previews for that.
It is an interesting character, but I kind of like Ricky Gervais. I mean, other than that, what was it? The Golden Globes.
Yeah, that was God,
That was terrible.
harsh. Thought he was gonna get lynched.
Yeah, right up on stage. He's gonna get shot at probably. He was raunchy, dude. Yeah, I mean, he was ripping everybody that night.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm definitely gonna check this out because I enjoyed the first two.
That was actually the first movie I ever saw Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, same here. Like he was on The Office before,
Yeah.
but I never watched The Office. But I don't know. I enjoyed the first two, so I'm definitely wanting to see what they're gonna do with this third one, which I have no idea what they're gonna do.
Yeah, what museum?
Because they already did the
the
Smithsonian, and that's
Yeah.
the most popular museum as far as I know.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know either.
But yeah, they're gonna have Robin Williams back, Ricky Gervais, obviously Ben Stiller because he's the star. Wonder who else they're gonna bring back.
Yeah, I don't know.
Owen Wilson, maybe.
I'm assuming
Possibly,
probably.
yeah. I mean,
What's his name? Stephen Coogan.
yeah, Steve Coogan.
The Cougs.
The Cougs.
Uh,
The Cougs.
Well, Gervais will also be seen in the upcoming Disney's Muppets Most Wanted movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely check that out.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right. Well, we were going to talk. I said that we got some Harry Potter in the news, which you don't really hear that much about Harry Potter. I mean, because their films wrapped up quite a long time ago. But we're actually going to be talking about plays instead of films for a second here, because there is a Harry Potter prequel that's planned to be a play. Entertainment Weekly said that J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter books, is working on a play that will tell the story of Harry Potter during his younger years before Hagrid showed up. So when he was living with his aunt and uncle, kind of be telling the story of what happened. Because obviously, he was, he had magic powers his entire life. So I mean, he had some things happening before he ever went to Hogwarts. So kind of interesting, I thought. But I don't know where exactly the play's going to happen. Maybe on Broadway, New York at some point. I mean, J.K. Rowling is on...
That, or I would assume London, maybe?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's really not that surprising. I mean, we've already heard about the spin-off for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the book that was in the Harry Potter movie that's getting its spin-off movie. And then Warner Brothers have actually talked about other potential spin-offs, like a Quidditch spin-off, and all these different subplot stories in the movie. So I mean, it's really not that surprising that this is happening, but I think it's kind of interesting that J.K. Rowling is actually going to be hands-on. She's helping writing the script for the play. So I mean, that's pretty. I mean, if she weren't a part of it, I mean, I would think this is really really stupid.
Me personally, like when I hear prequel, like the way I envisioned it would be like the story of his parents, like. How they got into everything and how they were killed.
That's one of the spin-offs that Warner Brothers have talked about doing, is his parents and the whole... I forget what it's called. They had a group of people. I can't remember what it's called. But that's one of the spin-offs they've talked about turning into a film. But this prequel for this stage is, primarily focused on Harry Potter.
Definitely would be curious to see how they pull this off.
Yeah, but I like that J.K. Rowling's attached to it, so that's kind of cool. We're going to talk about Lionsgate Productions here for a second. Lionsgate, who put out films like The Hunger Games, Now You See Me. They actually surpassed a pretty noteworthy milestone. They recently surpassed $1 billion for the second straight year, which is pretty crazy. They got their fourth quarter earnings recently, and they found out that they reached the billion mark for the second straight year. The total figure is $2.2 billion. And The Hunger Games is actually still out and still going pretty strong. Made $8 million this past week, so it's going to continue to grow. But, I mean, the first Hunger Games grossed $691 million worldwide. And the second installment is expected to finish over $800 million globally alone.
Wow.
The studio also, like I said, they came out with Now You See Me, which brought in $354 million.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, and it's
surprisingly good.
It's leading to a sequel. So, I mean, that's what happens. I mean, yeah, you think, I heard there's a lot of plot twists. How is it possible there's going to be a sequel? But there is going to be a sequel.
I'm trying to think of the title for it. Hopefully it's not like a 22
Yeah.
Jump Street type of thing. Like
Now you see me
cannot see me.
again.
Like
Yeah,
now
I
you
don't know.
cannot see me or something.
They also had Instructions Not Included, which became the highest grossing Spanish language film of all time with 85 million. Concert film Kevin Hart, Let Me Explain, is also cited in the Lionsgate report, having grossed 32 million. Other successes for the studio include Escape Plan, which generated 122 million in global gross despite performing quietly in America, and Warm Bodies, which registered a quietly effective 116 mil. So, I mean, quietly, they've come out, I mean, other than The Hunger Games, which is their big moneymaker, but they've come out with, pretty steady films the past couple of years. I think they're kind of gearing up to becoming one of the more well-known film productions in the business.
Yeah, right behind Warner Brothers and Disney.
And all those places, yeah. I mean, they started from the bottom,
They've worked their way
and now
up.
they're here.
Is it because you saw Drake in the?
Yeah, that's what made me think of it, yeah. I had to throw that in there. But I think that's pretty impressive. $2 billion in... Well, I mean, actually, like I said, they got $2 billion already. They said they passed $1 billion, but they've actually made $2 billion. But like $3 billion in 2 years, it's pretty good.
I would say it's okay.
That's
It's not, to me, I'd be happy. Shoot.
$2 billion. I mean, I don't know why it said $1 billion, but they've actually made 2.2. That's pretty
Obviously,
great.
they're doing things right over there.
Yeah, and just imagine how much more they're going to make with the final 2 films of the Hunger Games. They are going to be rolling in the dough.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna have more years of them hitting $1 billion.
Yeah,
with those
for
other
sure.
movies coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
And
what I'm
we'll
saying.
be-
They're
yeah.
gearing up to be a big time studio.
We'll be reporting it, too, within the years.
Yep.
Yeah. But speaking of movies that are coming out here soon, X-Men Days of Future Past, we've talked about it before. So they were, they wanted to get the whole cast back from the original ones, like Halle Berry's coming back, just all the original characters, and Rogue, who's played by Anna Paquin, but her scene is actually going to get cut from the movie.
She has only one scene.
Apparently she only had one scene. Bryan Singer, who is of course the director for, the X-Men movies, he was talking to Entertainment Weekly, and he said through the editing process, the sequence became extraneous. Yeah. It's a really good sequence, and it will probably end up on the DVD so people can see it, but like many things in the editing process, it was an embarrassment of riches, and it was just one of those things that had to go.
That's kind of disappointing for her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have one scene and then it gets cut.
The one scene that she's in. The scene in question is said to feature a rescue involving Rogue, Magneto, Xavier, and Iceman. So it seems like it was, a rescue mission or something, but I guess it wasn't actiony enough or something, or maybe...
Hey,
yeah.
It
she
happens.
got paid.
I was going to bring that point. She got paid, regardless if she's in the film or
And
not.
she got her name on IMDb. That's all that matters. No, that's...
So she has credit for it now.
That's rough. I mean, one scene and it gets cut. I mean,
It's like Johnny Drama.
that's exactly what I thought of from Entourage, but...
Yeah, so it's going to end up on the, on the special features,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I mean, he said why, but maybe like I was saying, maybe it's not actiony enough or something, or maybe it just didn't fit. Obviously, it just didn't fit with
Did
the
it
movie, I
fit
guess.
with the flow of the story?
So,
I mean, that's rough.
It's
so
a
if you're a
shame.
fan of Rogue, you're not going to see her. In theaters, anyways.
I wonder if she's gonna pull a Christopher Lee with the Lord of the Rings, where he got cut out and he kind of had a falling out with Peter Jackson. I wonder if that's gonna happen with her and Bryan Singer. Hopefully not.
They did, we announced that they announced that the new, like the other X-Men movie that's coming out in, a couple years after this one. So maybe she'll be in that one. Maybe she'll get cut for that one again.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she got cut in the next one, if I were her, I'd be like, all right, I'm done.
You never know. I mean, she might take
Nicolas Cage or something.
She might take offense to this to where she might not want to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, actors they get like that.
Mhm.
They're like, I mean, like I said, they get
They're
paid.
Like, no.
Yeah, but
not
they're
coming
like,
back.
if you're gonna cut me out, then whatever. I won't work for you. But
So we're gonna have to wait for the DVD release to see what that scene was. So
Unless they forget.
I'm really excited for that movie, though.
what if they just don't put it in at all? Like, it's gonna be on the DVD. Don't worry. Just
Either
Either that or
keep
they'll be
it
like,
going.
it's going to be on the special edition of
Yeah.
On
DVD.
like the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, something like
Days of
that.
Future Past.
We're gonna
or
make you
something.
wait.
We're going to make you wait 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
This one's a super duper re-release one in 3D.
You know, they do that all the time. They got the special edition, and then they got the special edition, and then the remastered, Blu-ray, ultraviolet, ridiculous.
All that stuff. Watch it on your phone. All
Crazy.
that.
Tin cover.
Yeah. But now it's
Tin
time.
cover.
It's time for this week's edition of...
Vic's Pick.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping. And I bought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
When we finally... Oh, hey guys. So, that, of course you guys noticed that is not necessarily a brand new intro. I mean it is, but it's only for the Christmas episode.
It's Christmas time, yeah.
Christmas time, of course, let it snow. Huge thanks to This Adventure for letting me use their amazing cover. Go ahead and check them out at facebook.com, This Adventure, /This Adventure, or thisadventuremusic.com, their official website. And we actually did have somebody guess this week's Vic's pick, which was...
At Stephen Rubel, 33, went to high school with him. Good job.
Yeah, good job.
Good job, Stephen.
So that's 2 weeks in a row now that people have been, checking it out and
Yeah.
putting posts. So if you guys get it right, we'll read it on air for you.
Yes.
Give you the shout
I
out.
almost watched this Vic's
Did you?
pick this week or today.
We were working on our Christmas list that we'll, go over later on, and I remember a certain movie that was actually a Christmas movie too. So this one actually got bumped off, but it's 1996's family comedy Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
Yep. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Phil Hartman, Rita Wilson, Jim Belushi, Danny Woodward, and Sinbad. You remember Sinbad?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Sinbad.
She doesn't know who Sinbad is. She's too young for you, bro.
I literally quote this movie all the time.
You used to watch this movie all the time.
It's
Yeah.
a perfect kids movie. It took me back to my youth. So
Yeah, it's great.
it's about 2 rival fathers, workaholic Howard Langston, who is played by Arnold. I'm just gonna call him Arnold from now on.
Yeah.
And postal worker Myron Larrabee, who's Sinbad, who are played by Sinbad, are both desperately trying to get their hands on a Turbo Man action figure for their sons on last-minute shopping spree on Christmas Eve.
These two are looking for a Turbo Man!
And he picks them up. He's like, Turbo Man. The production budget for this one was $75 million. Box office, it made $129 million.
Wow.
60 million were domestic and 69 million were foreign. So it made $9 million more in the foreign market. Came out the weekend of November 22nd to the 24th back in, of course, 1996. It debuted at number 4 with 12.1 million. Not bad. Number 3 was Ransom, which made 13.1 million in the third week. That was actually a pretty good movie.
It is a good movie.
Mel Gibson, I don't want to say Rene Russo was in it.
Yeah, Gary Sinise.
Number 2 was Space Jam.
I remember that movie.
Space Jam. 16.2 in the second week. The number 1 movie though that weekend was Star Trek: First Contact.
Oh, I remember that.
$30.7 million in its opening weekend. So IMDb has Jingle All the Way at a 5.2 out of 10. It didn't really get too many great reviews. It was kind of mixed a little bit. Rotten Tomatoes had it at a 17% rotten, which
I strongly disagree.
exactly. So it's either like you love this movie or you hate it. There's no real in the middle. But Roger Ebert gave the film 2.5 stars, and he only he gives them out of 4 is what he used to give. So he actually 2.5 out of 4 I should say. It's not bad at all. And now it's time for the movie fun facts, because everybody loves these ones.
I got Johnny a Turbo Man months ago. It's nestled safely
And
under
that
our tree.
reindeer, they just getting chased around in the house, and he sets the house on fire. But the story is based on the 1980s shopping frenzy over the Cabbage Patch Dolls, and also the 1990s Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Because everybody wanted that one.
Go Power Rangers!
Turbo Man's red suit is modeled after DC Comics superhero The Flash. I didn't know that.
I
didn't
kind
either.
of looked like it a little
Yeah,
bit.
kind of.
It did.
In a way.
One of the producers, Chris Columbus, wanted Joe Pesci to play Myron, who was Sinbad's character,
That
but
would be
he was
great.
deemed too short next to Arnold. So Pesci instead of Sinbad, because we always talk about actors that might have played a role and stuff.
Yeah.
So Joe Pesci instead of Sinbad.
I can't picture it.
It would be kind of funny though.
Well, yeah, I like Joe
Yeah,
Pesci, but I can't picture it
It'd be
because,
like my cousin Vinny, but like Christmas or something.
hey, wait.
Hey, oh, where's Turbo Man? Hey,
Either that or he'd be like mumbling like he does at Home Alone.
Yeah.
The movie was directed by Brian Levant, who actually did Beethoven, which is one of my personal favorites growing up too. He did the Flintstones movies, both of them, so the Flintstones and Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas. And he also did The Spy Next Door with Jackie Chan. So he's been getting, steady work.
Mostly kids movies, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
We all need, good kids movies
Yeah, we
growing
do.
up. So if
God
you guys have
forbid.
family, you have some spare time on Christmas, get the kids together, watch Jingle All the Way. It is on Netflix. It's an hour and 29 minutes, and that is this week's Fix Page.
He got two!
He
We
got
got to
Hey lady, I need your Turbo Man.
get the mailman.
So
Yeah.
check it out.
It's a good movie.
It's a very quotable movie. Also,
Not a bad film.
not
You
at
used to
all.
watch it all the time.
I've actually watched it not that long ago.
where he's like chasing the little kid because he has like a little numbered ball. He chases
Yeah.
him with,
Yeah.
like, the ball pit. He's like, "You pervert!" He's like, "I'm not pervert." Like, it's kind of funny.
I got a shiny red ball. Do you want to trade? All right. Yeah. Well, he threw off some film facts there, so it's time for the weekly film facts, and they are all Christmas movie film facts, since it's 2 days away. Jack Nicholson was very interested in playing Ralphie's dad in A Christmas Story, but casting and paying Jack would have been too expensive. Director Bob Clark has said Darren McGavin was the perfect choice. I like Jack Nicholson, but it would have been a
I do
little
too.
weird.
Like I could just see him like sitting there and talking to Ralphie. Ralphie, you're gonna shoot your eye out there, kid.
Like
Wearing
a beard and stuff.
Wearing like Ray-Bans.
Yeah, having like his Joker grin that he
Yeah.
always does after Batman.
And Darren McGavin's from San Joaquin County, so
There you go.
there you go.
There you go.
The assistant director of Christmas Vacation, Frank Capra III, is the grandson of the legendary Frank Capra, who directed It's a Wonderful Life. The part where Clark fixes the newel post by sawing it off with a chainsaw is an homage to It's a Wonderful Life. The newel post at the Bailey house was also loose. Also, Russ is watching It's a Wonderful Life on TV when his grandparents arrive. So,
I caught that part. Yeah.
very nice homage. One of the greatest Christmas films of all
Fix
time.
the post.
Macaulay Culkin still has physical evidence of Kevin McAllister from Home Alone.
Oh, I heard
In the
this
scene where Harry bites Kevin's finger, Joe Pesci bit harder than he had intended and left Macaulay with the scar that he still has today.
I read about that one. I
Yeah.
almost like had that on my facts a long time ago, but
Yeah, I've known about that for quite some time. I wonder how hard he must have freaking bit him. Leave a
He bit him,
scar.
bit him as a small child.
I know.
He bit a child.
That's That's kind of creepy.
That is. He bit a child.
I thought Mike
If you
Tyson.
think
I
about
thought
it
Mike
like
Tyson
that.
only did this stuff.
He put a child's fingers in his mouth
And then left the scar.
and he bit. That's crazy.
Bite every last one of them.
When the conductor says 11344 Ed Brook in the Polar Express, during the beginning of the film, he's referring to director Robert Zemeckis' actual childhood home in Chicago. Kind of interesting. I actually went on Google Maps to see what the house looks like. Pretty small. It looks in a nice neighborhood, though, in Chicago, but kind of interesting.
Did not know that.
11344 Ed Brook.
Why the North Pole? Of
Like,
course.
so he just gave out his address.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, here's his address."
He doesn't live there anymore, but...
Yeah, I'm wanting to know who actually lives there now. And people will be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
they said our address."
It's kind of like when they post maybe like a fake number, quote unquote, but it actually turns out to be somebody's number, and then that person just gets called up.
Well, yeah,
Well,
it was-
actually, to make up for it, it's the street that Robert Zemeckis grew up on was 11344 South Ed Brook. So they got rid of the South, if that makes up for anything.
I see what they did there.
Yeah.
Clever, very clever.
So
But that is the Christmas weekly film facts.
yay! The presents just keep on coming in this.
They do.
They just
And we got
on
more.
coming. We're gonna keep it going with our first Batman vs Superman news. Amy Adams was talking to MTV and they asked her about all the criticism about Gal Gadot being Wonder Woman, because we even talked about it too. Like, she's tinier, if you will. She's not really like
Yeah.
an Amazon, I guess you can call it. But so Amy Adams said, if Gal's working with Zack Snyder, she's going to be Wonder Woman. She's going to be yoked. He's going to make her a beast.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, Zack Snyder is known for putting his actors through intense workouts to get in shape. So if he wants her to be, yoked, as Amy Adams said, so she doesn't have that much time though. It starts
she
in
doesn't.
February, unless maybe Wonder Woman's not in it a lot. So it goes
Maybe
until
her
August.
scenes are later, yeah.
So she might have up until June, July, because it doesn't stop until around August. So
Yeah.
Well, she got casted when? Because, like, when Ben Affleck got casted, he worked out immediately after he got casted, and he looks pretty big already. So, I mean, I don't know when exactly she got casted. It wasn't too long ago, so maybe she's already... I'm sure she's probably already started.
working out, because what's his name? Henry Cavill got just ripped for...
Yeah.
Because he wasn't like that in Immortal. I actually watched Immortals once I found out he was going to be Superman. Because that was like one of the last movies he did before Man of Steel, and he wasn't... Like, he was bigger, but he wasn't
That big.
the Man of Steel yet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you see what I did there?
Yeah.
His abs weren't steel just yet.
Yeah, she's got to get yoked.
Egg joke, yo.
Yep.
Egg yolked? Egg? What? Egg yolk? People still drink eggs like that? But keeping with the Batman vs. Superman news, costume designer Michael Wilkinson shared a few details about his latest work with an interview with Cinemovie. I've actually never even heard of Cinemovie, have you?
No.
But Wilkinson was tasked with creating a whole new look for Ben Affleck's Batman, which we've heard has a Jim Lee influence as well as a Wonder Woman outfit. The biggest news came out of the interview is that Henry Cavill's Superman will be getting a new look too. So, yeah, Wilkinson said that they're tweaking, quote-unquote, the Superman costume, and it won't look exactly the same as it did in Man of Steel.
Wow.
I'm kind of curious to what they're even going to do with his
They're
costume.
probably minor. I don't
Like
think it's
less bandexy or something. But he went on to say that we are now in the stage where we're refining our designs with the last series of camera tests and doing our final tweaks in preparation for shooting. So they're pretty much, they're still testing and getting all the lighting right, seeing how it looks. I'm curious to see, because I thought the Man of Steel one was fine.
Yeah, so did I.
Well, yeah, I did too.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably nothing major.
I hope not.
Maybe just a few less threads or something, I don't know.
Because for Thor, what's his name? Chris Hemsworth? Is it Chris or is it
Yeah.
Liam? It's Chris, right?
Yeah.
It's the first Thor costume, I guess, almost like cut a circulation off. It was so tight because he worked out so much.
Mhm.
And then for the second one, they kind of fixed it up. Same with the Christian Bale Batman suit. It kind of changed a little bit, so it was easier for him to move around. So
And it
He
never
seemed to
really
move
looked.
around just fine.
It never really looked different throughout the films too much. So that's what I'm
Nope.
saying. It's probably nothing major, but
it's maybe
I
more
don't
for
know,
like
Some
comfort
alterations for
or
him to
something.
move around.
yeah.
Hopefully. If they make any major adjustments, it's going to be kind of off-putting. Yeah,
Like,
that
he's not-
too.
Like he's not gonna be blue and red anymore. He's gonna be like yellow and like pink or something.
Yeah. something
Yeah,
like
that would definitely ruin Superman. And be like, okay, when did Superman turn,
yellow and pink.
like all girly now?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see it, especially with February just literally
Right
like
there.
around
Just
the corner now.
around the corner.
So we'll keep an eye out for that. We'll post anything too if we find anything, any leaks, if you will.
Yes.
So
Well, we're going to take a short break and get some eggnog or whatnot, but when we come back,
egg yolked.
unscripted movie scenes, so do not go away. And we are back. It's time for unscripted movie scenes, take 2.
So you got to sing all these because we promised a musical. We got to sing a little bit.
I can't really sing for these ones, I'm sorry. The first movie is actually a 1987 film, Good Morning, Vietnam.
I thought you were gonna say Good Morning, Pee Wee.
Good Morning, Pee! No, it's Good Morning, Vietnam, which stars Robin Williams. And believe it or not, all the scenes where he's broadcasting are all ad-libbed, including the famous line, Good Morning, Vietnam! It was all ad-libbed.
That was a good ad lib.
You like that? You saw what I did there.
Yeah.
Yeah, barely a single word of the broadcast were in the script. It was all done and ad-libbed by Mr. Robin Williams. So, my hat's off to you, because that's a good movie.
But you're not wearing a hat, Brian.
Yes, because I just...
You just took it off.
Yes, exactly. Come on! You gotta stay on the same page with me here. And last but not least, a good movie. Came out in 2011. Crazy Stupid Love. The scene where Hannah, which was played by Emma Stone, and Jacob, which was also played by Ryan Gosling, share a wonderful evening together at Jacob's pad, where he woos her with his Dirty Dancing lift. Something that actually was not in the script.
The Dirty Dancing thing or the whole
The
scene?
whole scene.
That's pretty impressive.
Yes. So, that is the unscripted movie scenes for the week.
That's a whole scene. I mean, you hear people improvise
Like lines or
lines,
something.
but a whole scene, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder if you had that planned, or, if they knew that it was going to be just completely improvised.
I don't know, but
Maybe he just wanted to dance for Emma Stone.
it's one of the
Probably.
most notorious scenes that people talk about.
It's crazy.
I remember when that movie came out, he had he was on Good Morning America, and he had, what's his name? I think Al Roker is his name?
Yeah.
Talking about it and whatnot. And he had to do the dance on Good Morning America.
He did?
Yeah. It wasn't with Emma Stone. I don't know if it
Who
was
did
with
he
Al
lift?
Roker or somebody
He
else.
lifted
he
Al
danced
Roker.
for Al Roker.
I think so. I don't remember. It's been a while.
Creepy.
But back
bit.
to the news. We talked about Joe Wright's Pan before. We're going to talk about it again because last time we talked about it, Harvey Bardem was being talked about for a role. That obviously is not happening because now they are negotiating with Hugh Jackman to play the villain role in Pan.
What exactly is the villain role?
Blackbeard.
I figured. That beard of Hugh Jackman.
Blackbeard.
You already know.
Yeah, I could see this. I actually kind of want to see this now if he is cast.
I would have rather seen Javier Bardem.
Well, I mean, I would have too, but
Like bring
Hugh
back Benicio del
Jackman's-
Toro.
Hugh Jackman's not a bad replacement. Like, I mean, really, he's like after they even said after watching the movie Prisoners, they knew that he was perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it.
Like in the Wolverine, how he's all in the mountains and stuff, and he has that long hair and the beard.
Yeah.
He goes all crazy, and so I mean, I can see it. Being a pirate, though,
Mm.
I can see him being a bad guy. I don't know about being a pirate.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. That's why I said I think Javier Bardem would have been perfect.
Yeah, it definitely would have been interesting to see. That's for sure.
Because that's all he plays is bad guys.
Well, before Javier Bardem, it actually was reported that Ryan Gosling was also slated to play the role of Captain Hook, but he passed.
Captain. Now that I could not have seen. Ever.
Yeah, that would have been kind of weird. The studio is also open casting to find a young new actor to play the title role of Pan, as well as looking for a mid-20s, 20-year-old actress to play his love interest, Miss Tyga Leary. Pan is scheduled for a release date of June 26, 2015, so definitely something to keep an eye on. Another Peter Pan.
So
movie.
Wendy is not in this movie. It's Tyler Lily that's going to be in the movie.
Yeah,
Tyga Lily.
the Indian girl.
The Indian girl.
Yes, she's an Indian girl.
Pocahontas?
I know she.
Yeah, it's like Pocahontas.
Huh.
Have you ever seen the original Peter Pan?
Not that I can remember. Maybe?
Really?
Maybe.
You've never seen Peter Pan?
Now,
Possibly? I
Yeah.
saw Jonah Hill as Peter Pan. Does that count?
No.
No, he was the Keebler elf.
Yeah, it's what he looked more like the Keebler elf, but
That is true.
he was a fat Peter Pan. And he wasn't really fat. Yeah. I don't know.
Man.
Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
So Hugh Jackman is a bad pirate.
yes, a bad pirate.
Bad pirate?
Not a butt pirate, but a bad pirate.
Oh, that's great to say. Good job.
On
Yes.
Christmas, Brian, really?
Come on.
On Christmas, you're going to say that?
2 days before Christmas.
I just did.
Jiminy Christmas.
Now it's Jiminy
See what he
Cricket.
did there?
Yes,
Yeah,
I,
you
I
see
saw.
Christmas.
Jumping back into the Batman vs Superman news, because this is probably one of the more anticipated movies of that 2015 lineup.
Yeah.
Hands down. Warner Brothers has brought in Oscar-winning Argo writer Chris Terrio to write a draft of the Batman vs Superman script. Not
Yeah.
bad.
I like that. Thumbs up.
David Goyer wrote the screenplay, but sources tell the Hollywood Reporter that Terrio's job is to get the script in shape before filming begins. Of course, Argo, which starred, Argo. I don't know why I say Argio or what. I don't even know.
RGO.
RGO!
Sounds like Rufio or Argio or something. But Argo, was directed by and starred by Ben
Yeah.
Affleck. So another Ben Affleck kind of link there. So I mean, Argo won Best Picture, won Best Screenplay as well. So they're going for the fences on this one. I think.
I'm
They're trying to make more
sure.
of just like a comic book movie. They're trying to make like a movie or something. Like a not necessarily like a comic book movie, but something
More serious comic
Yeah.
book movie.
Mhm.
I'm sure Ben Affleck had some influence on this one. He was like, hey, I just worked with a really good screenwriter, Chris Terrio, on Argo, so, I mean, let's get him to touch up the screenplay. That happens all the time, where, somebody may be the initial writer, but they'll bring in other people to touch up on the script. I mean, there's usually not just one screenwriter on a screenplay. They have people come in and do rewrites on it and stuff.
Polish it up.
Yeah. So that's
Possible
pretty...
Oscar nomination for this thing. If that's what they're
Maybe.
Yeah, for the
Who
screenplay.
knows? Who knows?
Screenplay.
I doubt it.
I guarantee you, eventually, sometime in the future, a comic book movie will be nominated for screenplay, and who knows, maybe even Best Picture one of these days.
Wasn't The Dark Knight... I'm pretty sure The Dark Knight Rises was nominated for Best Picture. No, The Dark Knight was nominated for Best Picture.
I think you're right. I honestly can't remember.
Because Heath Ledger won for Best Supporting Actor. I'm pretty sure The Dark Knight was nominated as well.
I honestly, like I said, you could be right. I don't remember.
I don't think it'll ever win.
Probably not, but who knows?
Well, maybe in 2015 that'll change because everything's coming out that year, so
Who knows?
a lot more comic book nominated movies.
It's pretty rare, too, when a movie that comes out during the summer is nominated for Best Picture. So, I mean, chances are probably not that good. But when you got an Academy Award-winning screenwriter, polishing up your script, and that's pretty good for the film. So that's kind of
So
interesting.
there you go.
Yeah, well, we are going to jump into the Marvel universe for a second because, a while back we talked about Vin Diesel. It was rumored, it was probably their worst kept secret. Everybody knew that Vin Diesel was attached to a Marvel project somehow, but Marvel finally confirmed that Vin Diesel will lend his voice for James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy. Marvel had a statement about Guardians of the Galaxy. They said, in the far reaches of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, an unlikely cast of characters including Peter Quill, Gamora, Drax, Groot, and Rocket Raccoon must join forces to defeat a cosmic force of epic proportions. Now, Vin Diesel is going to be voicing Groot, which it's kind of looked like a tree-like creature.
I seen it. I saw some resemblance.
Yeah. The other high-profile cast members that are lending their voice are American Hustle star Bradley Cooper is going to be Rocket Raccoon. Also, there's going to be, you got Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Michael Rooker, Karen Gillan, Djimon Hounsou, Lee Pace, John C. Reilly, and Benicio del Toro as the Collector. So
yeah, it's definitely an interesting group of actors.
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
August 1st, 2014 is its release date, so next year. Don't have to wait too much longer, but pretty interesting. Vin Diesel. We all knew that. Like I said, it was probably their worst kept secret. Everyone knew that. He had several meetings with Marvel, and he said, "Oh, it's nothing."
I'm just doing a podcast.
Yeah, I'm just doing. They do podcasts quite frequently, apparently. But
Well, honestly, like anything like that has to do with Marvel, like if they're taking a meeting and like they say something about it online, like obviously you're gonna be like in Marvel, some type of Marvel like position where you're gonna be in one of their movies. Come on now.
Yeah. So, Groot, tree-like creature, August 1st. Continuing on with Vin Diesel.
The Vin Diesel show seems like this week.
I've never thought. When I was looking at my news, I never thought I'd have so much Vin Diesel in my news. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is like the first time.
I don't talk about Vin Diesel that much. I have nothing against them, but I just, to be in the news that much, that's pretty good. But according to Deadline, Universal's exact wording is continuing the global exploits in the franchise built on speed. Vin Diesel and Paul Walker will lead the returning cast of Fast and Furious 7. Vin Diesel tweeted this past week, the last scene we filmed together, there's a picture that he tweeted as well with it. There was a unique sense of completion, of pride we shared in the film. We were now completing the magic captured and in just how far we've come. Fast and Furious 7 will be released April 10th, 2015. P.S. He'd want you to know first. Talking about Paul.
Mm-hmm. Kind of figured.
Yeah, so, that would most likely mean, they pushed it back an entire year. It was supposed to come out in July of 2014. So that would kind of mean that most likely Cody Walker will in fact contribute to Fast and Furious 7. So, it gives them time to do all these things. But, he said, April 2015. So, being pushed an entire year, there's going to obviously be some script tweaking, so they're going to have to kill off Brian O'Connor's character somehow. And then, like I said, they're going to need the extra time to go back and CGI Paul Walker's face onto his brothers. So, but there's not too many films that are on the calendar for April 2015 so far, except Insidious 3, which will be released a week earlier than Fast and Furious 7. So right now, it's looking like Fast and Furious 7 is going to be the film to beat in the month of April. So, but pretty interesting. So,
it's going to be crazy to see once it actually, comes out. See how all that CG works, and maybe what scenes Paul was actually in.
Yeah, it's going to be guess which scene he was in and not.
Yeah.
Man, so 2015. But back into the Batman vs. Superman news. We weren't kidding when we said Batman and Superman show today.
Yeah.
But Variety is reporting that Warner Brothers was looking at Joaquin Phoenix for a villain role in Batman
I like
vs.
the way you
Superman.
say that.
Joaquin
Phoenix.
Sounds like you're about ready to spit a loogie.
Joaquin. But Variety believes that Phoenix is being considered for the role of Lex Luthor.
Oh my
Which
God.
Brad is over there shaking his head no.
He's thinking about the hair.
That means your hair is
That's
gone.
not what I'm thinking about at all.
What?
I'm thinking about his hair and
Being
it being gone. That's what I'm thinking
Well, he still
about.
have that mustache that he has in her.
Yeah. That would be
Just like
creepy.
the mustache and stuff.
Yeah.
We've heard other names like Jason Momoa and Callan Mulvey come up recently, but Variety says they likely won't land a main villain role. So, looking like they're looking for Joaquin Phoenix to be a villain. So,
Yeah,
what do you guys think about that? Yes, I think we were talking about that off air a little bit. So
he's only played a villain once in Gladiator.
Yes.
he was more
And he was
like
good.
a wussy though. He wasn't
He
like
kind of was a wuss
Yeah, he was a little
in the
wussy.
movie, but he still was a
but
villain.
overall he was still like the bad guy in that movie.
It's been hard to try and really do the Lex Luthor role right because Kevin Spacey didn't,
No,
and he didn't look. Other than being bald, he just didn't. I don't know. He didn't fit the part right. And
Kevin Spacey's a really good actor. So.
yeah, so I mean that's saying. I mean you got to be on your game to do this. And I mean nothing. I think Joaquin Phoenix is a good actor. Don't get me wrong, but I just can't see him bald and being a main villain in a big time superhero movie. It just doesn't work for me. Like I mean like I said, I keep going back to Bryan Cranston. He played the most perfect perfect villain on TV. And I think the show's done now, so I mean, what's he gonna do? He's in Godzilla, big deal. This would be huge for him.
Godzilla, so what? Yeah,
it would be perfect for him. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, personally, I can't see Joaquin Phoenix being bald, but never imagine him in a scruffy beard.
well, he's kind of always avoided the whole like blockbuster,
Yeah.
movies, if you will. He's always kind of stuck to not necessarily independent movies, but not
Role-
super mainstream. Yeah,
roles that are going to get him nominated, because he gets nominated quite a bit. He was nominated for The Master last year. He's going to be nominated for Her this year.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's not a big blockbuster type of guy. That's why I don't think he's going to get this role. But
Well, yeah, honestly, I don't think he will do this role, but it's kind of interesting that
it's
he's
a bizarre rumor.
Yeah, it's that he's being rumored for it.
And like Bradley Cooper was rumored to play Lex Luthor. I couldn't see that either. The two that I've heard that make sense, Terry O'Quinn, who is already bald,
Yeah.
but Bryan Cranston. I mean, those are probably the two best rumors I've heard that would make some sense, because Terry O'Quinn did play a villain on Lost as well. So
so
I don't like the rumor of Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin. Well, we'll find out in hopefully
Yeah.
less than 2 months, because like we've said a million times, it starts in February.
Mhm.
So, we'll figure it out here soon enough, guys.
Well, last week I talked about Edgar Wright's Ant-Man and Simon Pegg's involvement or non-involvement with the movie. He said he should not be casted as Ant-Man. And then later in my story I said that Paul Rudd was a big-time candidate to play all the rumors. And it's funny because when I was reporting this, like a couple hours before we did the show, it was already confirmed that Paul Rudd is going to be playing Ant-Man in Edgar Wright's film. Marvel Studios officially announced it over the weekend. Kevin Feige of Marvel said, "When Edgar Wright came to us with the idea of Paul Rudd, we felt a huge sense of relief, because the first step in creating any Marvel Studios film is finding the right star. We knew early on that we had found the right person in Paul. When he not only agreed to do it, but became as enthusiastic as any actor we'd ever met with about doing the work, we knew we'd found the right guy. We couldn't be more excited for our audiences to see what he's going to do to bring Ant-Man to life." Ant-Man is being written by Edgar Wright and the man who was rumored to be the Star Trek 3 director, Joe Cornish. But I mean, Paul Rudd's obviously going to be a big part of the the Marvel Cinematic Universe now. Ant-Man's going to lead on to other things for him. But and Simon Pegg is a comedic actor as well. But he's done other, he's been in action films, Star Trek, Mission Impossible. I don't think Paul Rudd really fits the bill. He's more of a straight comedic actor. I haven't seen him do anything big in terms of budget-wise and action-packed as this. So, I mean, he's really, I don't know, it just doesn't fit for me. I don't think it's the right choice.
It's definitely an interesting choice over Simon Pegg. I mean, I like Paul Rudd, but yeah, honestly, this is something it's going to be big for him, especially in his career, since, you said it yourself, he's more of a comedian actor than an action type star. So, not to mention, I'm curious to see how this folds out.
Because there was rumors that in the beginning that he might be it. Rashida Jones was also kind of attached to it, wasn't she? Rashida Jones.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So now that he's on there, does that mean she's gonna be in there somehow or something? Or
I don't know, maybe.
she's pretty hot though.
Yeah, she is.
Honestly, I'm curious about seeing this Ant-Man, because, I never heard of him.
Ant-Man.
Well, comic book movies really don't require that much acting than it does, action in the movie. So, I'm not saying Paul Rudd is a bad actor. He's a decent actor, so that part's set. But, even Simon Pegg talked about it in the article I read last week. He thought he was too old to play Ant-Man. Paul Rudd is a lot older than Simon Pegg. So, I just don't see it, but honestly, it's going to be, Edgar Wright's never worked with Paul Rudd before, so he doesn't really know what to expect when it comes to working with Paul Rudd. I felt like Simon Pegg was the clear-cut choice because he's worked with Simon Pegg on so many things. The chemistry would have been super tight there. It would have just been all right, let's make another movie together. And I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be. I think there's gonna be a lot of controversy, like there was when Ben Affleck took the role of Batman. Not to the same extent, but I feel like there's gonna be a little bit of controversy.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I for one do not agree with the Paul Rudd casting at all.
I'm on the fence on it. Like if I knew a lot more about the character, I mean, it's not as big as Batman for one, but yeah, I definitely I would prefer Simon Pegg because I mean he's done a lot more than comedic performances, but it's definitely something that's going to be interesting to see once it kind of unfolds and who else is going to be in it.
I mean, I've seen some pictures of like the comic book, and I mean, it's like apparently like a scientist or something. I think he's a scientist.
That turns into the size of an ant.
Yeah, he like shrinks down to the size of an ant. And, like I saw a picture from the comic book where he's like on a shower head watching a girl take a shower. So I thought that was kind of funny. So.
Oh, nice.
But.
Huh.
I don't know.
Well, because even when Simon Pegg does do those comedies, he always has some segments in those movies where he kind of does some serious acting, on top of the actual comedy. Paul Rudd's usually just funny regardless of what he's doing. So I haven't really seen him act too much. So we'll see though.
Yes,
we'll see.
Well, it's now time for trailer of the week, and it's a Johnny Depp film.
Yes,
Transcendence.
Without Tim Burton.
Yeah, thank God. It's a sci-fi film. The plot is two leading computer scientists work toward their goal of technological singularity as a radical anti-technology organization fights to prevent them from creating a world where computers can transcend the abilities of the human brain. And it stars Johnny Depp, Kate Mara, Morgan Freeman, Cillian Murphy. It's a good cast.
Killian.
Yeah, it's I mean, we've talked about it. We've actually talked about this film in the past when they were casting and everything. And this is kind of the straight competitor for Interstellar, Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. What's interesting about this film is the director is a rookie director named Wally Feister. He's actually the frequent cinematographer for Christopher Nolan. He did all the cinematography for all the Batman movies and pretty much every Christopher Nolan movie. He's been the cinematographer. Now he's going to be exploring the director frontier.
Yeah, going head-to-head.
Going head-to-head with his frequent collaborator Christopher Nolan on two sci-fi films. But
the student has become the teacher.
Exactly. So, I mean, what a way to, get into the directing business with a big sci-fi film like that, with a great cast.
It's an awesome cast. It is expected to hit theaters April 18th, 2014, so definitely check out the trailer. It's very interesting. And not to mention, like you said, it's a film without Tim Burton's, and usually, when he doesn't do a movie with Tim Burton, it's not bad.
Yeah, this one's going to be really good. It is on our Twitter and Facebook page, so check out the trailer of the week, Transcendence.
Yes. Well, we talked about it last week. With this being our Christmas special, we would name up some of our top Christmas movies.
And musical.
And musical, yes.
Musical show, yes.
You didn't put yours in any particular order, though.
Not particularly, no, because, for me, it's kind of hard to put it in order, but the top five are one of my top five favorites.
Give some reasoning behind it, too.
I will. Who's going first?
There's obviously a reason for you put them in... Well, you didn't put them in order, but there's reasons for why I put them in order. Who wants to go first? I don't know.
1, 2, 3, not it.
Not it.
Oh, we're playing that game, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Whatever. I'll go first. I don't care.
All right, here we go.
Well, at number 5, I picked cult classic, It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes. I wouldn't say that's a cult classic. I think it's just a straight classic.
It's a straight classic. Fine. It's a straight classic. It's a classic. That's all that matters. It's a classical film. A film that should not be touched or remade or turned into sequels or any of sort.
Like it's been talked about with Paramount, but
don't do it. At number 4, I have to put this on my list. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, God.
Bad Santa. I love it. I love Bad Santa.
Billy Bob.
Yes. It kind of shows you the other side of reality of the holiday season where people have to work in retail like we do. We kind of relate to Billy Bob's character a little bit. So, one of my favorite movies. How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey. A Ron Howard film. How can you not have that? That's a good film.
The Grinch.
Well, I don't have it, so.
Yes. Christmas, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase. You have... That's one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies. I watch that every year.
I don't have any of these so far.
Yeah.
Which is good, though.
Oh, I have one.
And then, last but not least, I have The Polar Express.
You never seen that?
The one with Tom Hanks?
Yes.
The animated one?
Yes. Robert Zemeckis.
I want to say it's on Netflix, but...
Robert Zemeckis. You haven't seen that? Wow, I'm shocked.
All right, Vic. Let's hear it.
Well, it's funny because I was telling you guys that I haven't really watched too many Christmas movies. I think the last time I watched some was when I was younger. Because Christmas movies don't really, well, not that they don't like, appeal to me, but I just haven't seen any in the recent time. So all these brought me back to my childhood. So the reason why I like these ones is because I liked them when I was a kid. So at number 5, I have Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Oh, yes.
That was back when like Home Improvement was still, on, and I was just a huge Tim Allen fan. Number 4, I have Fred Claus with, what's his name?
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn, yeah. Oh, and crap, what's her name? Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that was one of a, like a newer one,
Yeah.
not necessarily like a kid's movie. But number 3 was Nightmare Before Christmas, because you gotta have that on there. Number 2, Edward Scissorhands. I forgot it was like a Christmas,
Yeah.
like around the Christmas movie time.
Yeah, that's true.
And number 1, I have Gremlins. First one.
Really?
hmm
Yeah, that also, the original one kind of
Yep.
took place around Christmas, too.
So those are mine.
Were those in any particular order?
In a way, yeah, but not necessarily to like an extreme. if
They're
you
just
will.
your top favorites.
Yeah.
Mine's in an extreme particular order.
Ooh.
So we clarify that.
Yeah.
Lay it on us.
Number 5 is 1970s Scrooge, which starred Albert Finney.
It's a good one.
That's a classic.
Honestly, any movie that, like, when they redo Scrooge, all of them have been pretty good.
I mean,
It's
it's the story of a Christmas Carol, but it's called Scrooge. But I
Yeah.
think this has been the best one to me.
I really like the one. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but the one where they have Bill Murray is,
Scrooged.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's an entertaining one.
Number 4, I have 2004 is the Polar Express. It was the first time that a Christmas movie was really done in the way it was, where it was like straight CGI'd everything, where it looked real. The visual, that was just amazing, and Robert Zemeckis is a genius. He did it with a Christmas Carol as well. Number 3, I have Miracle on 34th Street, the original, 1947 with Natalie Wood. That is a straight classic. Number 2, Frank Capra's 1943 classic, It's a Wonderful Life. It's just, it's classic. It's great.
Your number 1 I like as well.
Number 1, 1983's classic, A Christmas Story. It's the reason why it's on TBS every
TBC.
year. TBC.
We'll shoot your eye out.
It's the reason why they play it 24 hours straight on TBS every year. It's because
It's a classic.
It's a classic.
It's a Christmas classic.
And those are my top 5 greatest Christmas movies of all time.
Nice. Well, now it is time for the Christmas releases that come out on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
We have 5 to talk about.
Crazy.
Yes, one of them I'm not
Crazy.
a big thrilled of. I didn't really want to bring it or mention it on the show, but that would be biased.
Yes.
Justin Bieber's Believe comes out Christmas Day.
I know you're excited for this one, Vic.
It's a backstage and onstage look at Justin Bieber during his rise to superstardom.
His second
Again?
doc. Yeah, he had one.
Didn't he already come out with something like this?
Yeah,
before?
2011. It did pretty well.
I'm
Box
sure
office.
it's going to get a lot of people in the seats, supposedly since he's retiring now or
Whatever.
whatnot. Yeah,
It
whatever
won't
that is.
stick, don't worry.
Don't know.
It's not going to happen.
Also coming out, Keanu Reeves in his hopefully comeback film of the year, 47 Ronin. It's a band of samurai who set out to avenge the death and dishonor of their master at the hands of a ruthless shogun.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think Justin Bieber will probably have you beat there, Keanu. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro and Sylvester Stallone in Grudge Match, also with Kim Basinger. It's a pair of aging boxing rivals who are coaxed out of retirement to fight one final bout 30 years after their last match.
You can't forget Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Kevin Hart's in it as well.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to see this movie. I mean, I feel like they're paying homage to Raging
Rocky.
Bull and Rocky
Yeah.
in a way. It doesn't look bad, but I mean, it's
Shane
got
from Walking Dead, of course.
it's got it's got a lot of competition. Shane's actually in 2 movies that's in these new releases, believe it or not.
Wow. Good for
Yeah.
him.
The Wolf of Wall Street, Martin Scorsese's picture with Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
It's based on the true story of Jordan Belfort from his rise to a wealthy stockbroker, living the high life to his falling involving crime, corruption, and the federal government.
Jonah Teeth, you mean?
Yeah, Jonah Teeth. My money's taped to your boobs. Technically, you do work for me.
It's great.
And last but not least, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which stars Ben Stiller, Kristen Wiig, Adam Scott, and Sean Penn. A daydreamer escapes his anonymous life by disappearing into a world of fantasies filled with heroism, romance, and action. When his job, along with that of his co-worker, are threatened, he takes action in the real world, embarking on a global journey that turns into an adventure more extraordinary than anything he could have ever imagined.
Yeah,
That was a mouthful.
it really was.
A lot of good Christmas movies. It's very rare we have,
That's a lot.
5,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
very rare you have that many on Christmas to choose from.
All right, well,
And this is
A
going
tough
to make
one.
it very tough to make the box office predictions.
it's a doozy.
It is a doozy.
Doozy do.
Oh my god, I don't even know where to go with.
You usually go first, Brian, so.
I know, I'm trying to think.
You haven't picked anything? You're just going to straight shoot it right now?
Yeah, I'm shooting right
Wow,
now.
That's what I just did.
Really?
Yep.
I put a lot of thought into this.
I think at number 1, I'm going to go with The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Followed by The Hobbit. Then The Wolf of Wall Street. And then I will say Frozen
Frozen. All right.
at number 4.
What you got,
Ooh.
Vic?
I have The Hobbit staying at number 1. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Mitty.
With Minnie?
With my pal Mitty. I think Ben Stiller is gonna have a good weekend. I think. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Grudge Match. And then number 4, Wolf of Wall Street.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna stick with The Hobbit at number 1.
Good answer. Good answer.
I'm gonna go with The Wolf of Wall Street at number 2. Number 3, I'm gonna go with The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. And at number 4, I'm gonna go with Anchorman 2. The big question here is, on Christmas Day releases, the record holder for the highest grossing film is Sherlock Holmes with 24.6. Will that get broken? What do you guys think?
24.6 million. Obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think it will.
It's for a release, right? Not like a movie that's
Yeah.
like a new release.
New release, yeah, on Christmas Day release.
I don't think it
I don't
will.
think so.
Well,
If anything, Mitty might come a little close.
The Wolf of Wall Street is projected to make like 25 mil. Secret Life of Walter Mitty is projected to make like 17 mil or something.
Yeah, I don't see it being broken.
We shall see. We shall see.
Yes.
Anybody see anything on Christmas Day? You see anything, Vic?
I'm gonna see presents all day. That's what I'm gonna
That's
see.
what we're gonna see.
I'm
as
not
well.
even. Yeah, like I'd never leave the house really on Christmas. It's all about family and eating and stuff. So, and presents.
And presents.
And
We're
presents.
gonna see Saving Mr. Banks with Tom Hanks.
That's not, yeah,
Am I
that's
seeing
the
that today?
plan. That's the plan.
That's the plan. It's happening. Don't worry.
Got a lot of movies to catch up on. That's
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
do.
Yes, we do.
But that is our Christmas special.
Vic already named that movie.
Yeah, so
I'm
there's
sorry.
no need to figure it out because it was Reindeer Games.
Yes.
Ben Affleck, Charlize Theron, Gary Sinise,
Yes.
somebody else probably. But-
So
Lots of people probably.
Mhm.
definitely check out the Christmas releases: 47 Ronin, Grudge Match, Justin Bieber's Believe, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and The Wolf of Wall Street. Check out Vic's pick, which was Jingle All the Way.
Follow us on Twitter.
Yes.
Movie Talk Radio. Also, we'll be back on New Year's Eve for a show.
Yeah, another special after a special.
Yeah. Very special.
Yes.
Couple weeks here.
And be on the lookout because we are developing our Movie Talk website.
Yes, sir.
It'll be up sometime in the new year.
Hopefully, yeah.
So, other than that,
Merry Christmas, everybody.
happy holidays.
Exactly. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Stallion Radio Network.